Hi, welcome to, first of all, good morning, hello. It's like 6 o'clock in the morning. So I feel like this is like the earliest I've ever done a reading. So before I get started, I want to remind anyone that's watching that these messages are not going to resonate with everyone, and that's okay. If they resonate with you, gives you clarity, great. If it does not, then don't force it to be your story. Let me move this. There we go. Okay. I feel like somebody's trying to break through something. But the problem with that is it's not working. And it's like the more they try to break through some sort of barrier or whatever the case it is, it's like showing the effects of their failures. That's the best way I can put it. The effects of their failures are showing on them. So there could be something wrong with like their skin. Their skin is like cracking or peeling or dry. There could be cracks in their masks, their armor. I mean, realistically, if their skin is like cracking and peeling and they use their face as a mask to hide what's underneath, that would make sense, right? That's one of the effects. But I feel like this person, they're trying to break through something. Breaking and entering, right? This could be trying to break through your business, your aura, your energy, your privacy. I don't know why I wanted to say your privacy. Your privacy. I'm gonna start saying it from now on like that because it's fun. You know, trying to break through your relationships, your mind, your privacy, whatever. This is what they're trying to do, and they're failing at it. They're having such a hard time. I keep hearing big fat flop. They're having such a hard time at this, and it's showing up. The effects of their failure are showing on them physically. So this person could be looking a little bit more tired and run down. I also got a lot of words. I got hit and washed up. So this person's looking hit, they're looking washed up, tired, run down. Maybe even pale for and if this person is like darker in skin tone, even for their natural skin tone, they're looking pale, right? So it's like if they're brown, they're looking pretty pale for a brown person, right? It's just not looking good. This person's not looking good health-wise. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Alright. 3 minutes in, not bad. Well, 4 technically, but whatever. Not bad. Alright, let me get going so I can try and make this quick. Someone lost connection to their ancestors, and I feel like there's a little sadness to this. There's like I feel like not sadness, but like maybe regret. No, I don't think it's regret. So whoever this person is that's been trying to break through your energy and blah 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 blah. Okay, pumpkin. Well, the sun is gonna go up soon. Yeah, I'm gonna do this and then we can go back to sleep. there's like some sort of melancholy, that's the word. Yeah, like a melancholy energy to this person. And I feel like what makes it so is that if you share the same ancestors, you're the same ancestor. So this could be like a sibling or a cousin or a family member, like an aunt and uncle, a mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, grandma, grandpa. Did I say aunt, uncle? So this is somebody. Hold on. Yes, pumpkin? You want me to pick it for you? Do you need help? Do you want Paramount or HBO? Hold on. Do you want to take her with you? Hold on. Okay, so yeah, so somebody in your family, right? And there's like this weird melancholy energy coming from them, like exuding from them. One of the reasons is that because whatever they're trying to get through and break through, it's not working, and the failure of their effects is like showing on their face. And however it's showing on their face, it's showing, right? It's affecting them negatively. So this person could be in your family, and the melancholy feeling is that they're, I don't want to call this person crazy, but they're listening to something, but it's not your ancestors, and it may not even be God. They're hearing something, right? It's like, this is somebody who feels like they're doing God's work. You know how like in movies and TVs and shows, and there's always like that weird person, and sometimes it's almost always like that religious person who feels like they're doing God's work, but everything that they're doing is evil. It's corrupt. It's wrong, morally, ethically wrong. This is kind of like that energy. Like whoever this person is, like they feel like they're doing some sort of justice, or they could even be saying that they're doing God's work, but they're hurting people. They're hurting people. They're abusing people. They're manipulating people. I just seen 747. They're corrupt. They could be stealing. They could be lying. And they're doing these things claiming or saying that they're doing it in the name of God, but God doesn't manipulate. God doesn't corrupt people. God doesn't lie, steal, hurt, evil eye. This person is also like casting evil eye on you, like weirdly jealous, right? And it's like one of the things God teaches is to mind your business, right? So I feel like whoever this person is trying to break through something of yours, they're like minding your business and also judging you for that, which is another thing God tells you to do. Like, don't be judging people. That's for me to do. That's my job. So this person is doing a whole bunch of nothing, and it's affecting them negatively, all right? Because they think that they're doing something, and the biggest thing that they think that they're doing is they think they're doing God's work, but they're not. You're the same ancestors that you share with this person. They don't have the same wisdom, the same knowledge, the same knowing, the same answers. All right, because this person, they were not giving that. Your ancestors that you share with this person in your family, right? Your ancestors did not give this person what they've given you. Voices, with the check at the gut, feel them romance your very breath. Listen to the gentle flickering within your eyes, for this is where they guide. Yeah, you're being guided. Like, you know where you're going, you know what you're doing. Your ancestors are around you. They tell you things. They give you guidance and wisdom, how to pursue your purpose of breaking generational curses, how to help your fellow sentient being, right? How to elevate yourself, how to be healthier, how to, right? It's just things like that. And whoever, so that's you, collective. Whoever this person is, they're not like that. This person is not like you. You may be in the same family, but you are two different people. You're not. The only commonality that the two of you have, or the three of you, or the four of you, whatever, is that you're in the same family. That is it. That's as far as that commonality go. That common factor. That's it. Elders, reverse. Birthed from the seed within the belly of the moon. They are the wise, felt touches over our hearts and felt deep within the marrow of our spirit. I don't know what's going on with this person, but it's like, I'm not saying yes or no, it's like they have no control over their own spirit. A city broken down without walls. Oh, it's a proverb. A city broken down is like he who has no control over his own spirit is like a city broken down without walls. That's this person. They have a corrupt spirit, and they think that they're doing things in the name of the Most High God. And you really think God's okay with you judging someone, trying to be all up in someone's business, trying to manipulate people, and to be like, oh yeah, let's point at the collective, let's judge the collective, trying to get you to do weird, corrupt things. This is what God would want. Like, that's crazy. If this person, that's why the ancestors turned their back on you. That's why you don't know what you don't know. That's why you're lost and confused and you can't hear. You can't listen. I'm hearing, shh, listen. This person, they lost. If this person even had like a possibility of being in this energy, right? They lost. It was like a 1222. They lost the opportunity to be. It's like a. I don't know why I put it like this, but it's like to be in the club, the 1233, the ancestral, elevated transcendence club, right? The club where you get to be all up in the know and you have those intuition tinglings and knowings and blah blah blah. They lost that opportunity to be one with their ancestors, one with themselves, and one with nature, one with the Most High God, because they were doing things claiming that it was for God, but really it was for their ego. Why? If you're sitting there judging somebody, that's not God. That's your ego, because you want to feel better than that person, than those people. You want to look better than that person, than those people. You want to feel superior than that person, than those people. That's your ego. So this person, they were operating out of their ego, or they are operating out of their ego. It's not God. I don't even think God is in their vocabulary or in their heart. It could be a group of people. It could be a group of women. I did this reading a couple days ago where I was talking about how like there's a group of women in your family that feel some type of way and that are angry. This could be that energy that's coming up again. Now, if there is a time zone difference, right, that would explain a lot. So the reason why I'm saying that is because, collective, let's say you are on the West Coast and they are on the East Coast. So obviously when the West Coast is awake, the East Coast is sleeping. When the West Coast is sleeping, the East Coast is awake. So if they're awake and they're dibbling and dabbling, boil, tumbling, bubbling, toil, and all that stuff while they're awake, and when they are awake, you are sleeping. That's going to interfere. That's going to your spirit's going to pick up on that. Oh, someone's doing something, right? Time to get up because someone's doing something. So if you've been having trouble sleeping, it's because someone like in a different time zone or it could even be like up to a couple hours, right? It's just a difference of time to where they are asleep and you are awake, or when you are sleeping and they are awake. Because whatever they're doing when you're awake, that's when you're sleeping, and it's affecting you. They're trying to affect you. They're trying to break through. They're trying to give you nightmares. They're trying to cause paranoia. They're trying to break through your protection, and it's not working. It's their failure is having a negative effect on their health, and it's showing, right? So this is somebody, if you have this, this I feel like this is like there's something of like a difference of time, when even if it's like a couple hours, when you're sleeping they are still awake, or they are super awake, right? It could be like it's 8 o'clock for you, it's 8 in the morning for them, or it's 7 o'clock for you and it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon for them. 7 o'clock in the afternoon at night for you, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. You see, it doesn't matter. It's when you're sleeping, they're doing something. And the reason why it's like, it doesn't seem, to this person, these people, one of the benefits of that, the difference of time zone, is that they could do all the magic they want during the day and no one's going to be suspicious, versus if they're up at night howling at the moon, dancing in the woods, that's suspicious. Especially if you're claiming you're of God, you're a Christian, you're this, you're that, you're religious, and you're dancing in the moonlight in the middle of the night, making potions. That's suspicious. But during the daytime, everyone's got jobs, families, this and that. So of course someone, right? Oh, so-and-so, they're just, at work or whatever. Meanwhile, what they're really doing is they're in the woods making potions and casting spells at 3 o'clock in the afternoon to affect you while you're sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning. You see? So this person, your ancestors, they're not, they've washed their hands of this family member, these family members. They've washed their hands of this person, these people, this energy in your family. This is not what their knowledge and their wisdom is to be used for, to attack other people in the family, to attack people in the bloodline, especially if those are innocent or have a purpose or a calling. I feel like a lot of you have a calling on you, right? And because of that calling, you're pursuing that, you're fulfilling that, so you have these knowings, these intuitions, these inklings, whatever, right? And then you have people in your family that are very spiteful and miserable and bitter. And why do you think they look the way they look? Because they don't have that protection. They don't have that blessing. They don't have that. Listen, all through history and texts and whatever, what is the one common factor that all godlike beings have? A glow. They all have a glow. You have a glow, collective, and it shows. This person's energy is very draining. Like I said, they look very pale. If they're dark skinned, they could look pale even for dark skin. If they're black, brown, yellow, white, whatever their skin tone is, they look a little pale for their skin tone. It's concerning. It's because their health is on the line. Their health is not good because they don't have that glow, that protection, that light. Okay? There's a train. I live by like 3 trains, right? If I'm lucky, I get to hear them all at once, which is very loud. But I hear it right now. It's so dark outside, I can't see. Let me see something. If I look carefully, I can see the outline of some leaves. It's like 6:24 right now in the morning. But yeah, this I'm also hearing this person was not given the touch. So you have the touch for something. I'm hearing Tia Dalma say you have a touch of destiny. So you have something that's been written for you. You have a calling, you have a purpose, and it's going to be fulfilled no matter what. You have something that's been given to you, like appointed to you, right? I'm hearing like knighted 2020, when you've been like you've been knighted or something. Let me look that up, because I know that people can still become knights. Wow. So it's like you've been knighted. That's why you have this, which is basically a high honor. You're spiritually ranked. You are of high honor. Ooh, Kipper. All right. What does it mean to be knighted? Other forms: knighthood, right, is an official title given to British men who have performed some kind of extraordinary service. When someone receives a knighthood, they're formally addressed as Sir. The state of being a knight is knighthood, and the title itself is known as a knighthood. Knight or dame. This is awarded for having a major contribution in any activity, usually at national level. Wow. Other people working in the nominees area will see their contribution as inspirational and significant, requiring commitment over a long period of time. So, Americans can also be knighted as well. Neato. So whatever you could have done some major contribution, whether it's spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, financially. You've done something where it has had a great impact on you, for you, right? That helps with your purpose, your destiny, your calling. Or this is something that you've been doing currently, like you've been making great, you've making a great progress, great impacts. Like you've really been putting in that work, and it's gotten you highly spiritually ranked, which is crazy, because if that's the case, you have I don't want to say it like this, but you have like this nobody in your family who's like low bar quality, low bar magic, low bar attempts. Their spirit is already very, very dimmed out. I'm not going to say whether or not they still have it, but it's very, very dimmed out. And you can tell because their health, they're not looking too good. You can tell a lot about a person's spirit by looking at them. And people be like, oh, well, you can't. Listen, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I don't know who's 23. I don't know who's saying no, but you can. Right, you really can. Just look at their face. You can. I gotta get Kipper, hold on. There's sirens in the background as well. Rebirth on the bottom of the deck, but it's reversed. So whoever this person is, they're stuck. And it might be too late. It might be too late in this lifetime. Maybe next lifetime they might have a better go at it. They might be able to do what they have to do. But as of right now, and this era of time right now, I think it might be done for them. I think I feel like so if this is a group of women in your family, I think they're gonna they're just stuck like this. They're just, that's it. Sorry. Try again next time. Multiple attempts, multiple failures. These women have multiple attempts to change something or break a curse or whatever, and they've had multiple failures. So that's why it's kind of like, sorry, You tried multiple times and you failed multiple times. Next time, maybe next time, maybe next time, maybe next life. It's like they're stuck in a cycle or like a loop, and it's just, now at this point, you're just gonna have to live out the rest of your life in this plane the way it is. They were not listening. I swear, I feel like these women, they swore up and down they were listening to God or doing God's work. But you have to be real careful, because some people really confuse listening to their ego versus listening to God. And you'll know the difference, because God will never tell you to harm or hurt yourself or other people. It may not even be, it's, people always be like, oh, well, I'm not putting my hands on them. No, but you're speaking ill, you're gossiping, you're manipulating, you're, you know, it's, people really be confusing their ego with like, this is God's work, this is God's plan. Like, a lot of that has to do too because they want to make themselves relevant, but God's telling them, sit down, it's not your time right now, sit down. And they want to be all, oh, pick me, they want to be relevant, but God's literally telling them, you had your chance to be relevant, you didn't want to, so now you can sit down. These are like karmic women in your family that they had a chance. Message in reverse. They're withholding some sort of information. I feel like that has to do with you, or they're trying to keep some sort of information and they're not also getting something. Like something is not clicking to these women. Courthouse. Okay. So whatever message that they try to keep from you, whatever information that they try to keep from you, it's gotten legal. Like the legal system has gotten involved. Yeah, the sun's about to come up. The legal system has gotten involved, right? Like a judge or something. There's going to be some sort of paperwork or document that's going to have, it's going to need your attention. All right. This information is going to, like, I'm hearing like urgent, your immediate attention. Right? It could be because of time, or it could be to like prove something. I'm getting something like, if you were like if there was like some sort of case around you or involving you, there were these people in your family that they did everything they possibly can to make sure that your presence in court would not show, or like you wouldn't show your face like in court for whatever reason. There was always like some sort of excuse for reasoning, and the whole case has to do with keeping some information from you, or keeping finances or an inheritance from you, from your knowledge, under the guise that you were incapable, or you couldn't do this or you couldn't do that, right? Because they swore they were doing God's work, right? But I feel like whatever this is, it needs your immediate attention. Like now it's going to be like to the point where this case is not going to go any further until the collective shows up, until I see the collective and my face. There's going to be some sort of paperwork that's going to need your immediate attention, that could require your physical presence. And like these women in your family, they don't want you to know about this. They don't want you to know this information. I'm getting like for some of you there was information or letters in the mail that was being redirected, so that way it's like somebody gave them a false email address, or like an email address, like a false address, right? So instead of you getting these paperwork, the paperwork go to their houses or their addresses or whatever. But there's something that could be why there was like this private investigator around for like the past year and a half, trying to locate you, trying to find you, right? All your addresses, all your location, whatever. So it's kind of like, you know how like spam mail work, when you can just like send one email and then you put like 20 addresses on it. So it's kind of like that. Like this same letter is going to be sent out to like 30 different addresses, hoping that it gets to you. And it's going to. And it's like these women were trying so hard to make sure you wouldn't get this information, you wouldn't get this letter. They don't want to. I don't know what the problem is, man. So the thing is, too, one of the reasons why people mess with other people's sleep is because with the lack of sleep, it comes with irritability, insomnia, paranoia, things like that. Like, and then after, like, I think 3 days of no sleep, that's when symptoms of psychosis sets in. So there can be a group of women in your family that's trying to mess with your sleep so you can have those symptoms of psychosis. So that way they can be like, see, this is why we didn't want them to show up. This is why, blah, 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 blah. Right? So when your immediate attention is required, you're irritable, you're not well rested, you're tired, you're cranky, you're not putting effort into your appearance because you're so tired and you just don't care and you just want sleep and blah, 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 blah. It's because they're deliberately doing things to mess with your sleep. So when this time pops up, when this moment comes up, it's like you're not your well-rested, refreshed self, right? Because they've been messing with your sleep. They've been messing with your sleep, right? They need you to, you're not a psychotic person, but they need you to appear that way. And they're going to do that by instigating that. They're going to create these situations, and that is exactly why your ancestors aren't messing with them. Because your ancestors are like, this is not what our gift was for, to tear down. No, our gifts are for uplifting and the bettering, and your sentient fellow human, say your sentient being, and to progress and elevate and move forward. Not to stay stuck and stagnant. That's exactly why the ancestors left these women. Right? They could be subpar mothers as well. If these women in your family are mothers, they're mothers, but they're like, there's nothing wow about, I really shouldn't say that because I'm a mom too, but it's just giving like bare minimum. Like they were there, but they were not like emotionally present or spiritually present, or this is them now. They're not emotionally present now, or spiritually present now, or mentally present now, or whatever this is. But there's something about like very doing enough just to get by energy. Okay. These women could have had mother issues. They didn't feel nurtured by their mom, so maybe they don't know how to be that way either, or maybe they didn't know how to be that way. 3322. I feel like I have to burp. Oh my gosh, excuse me. So yeah, that could be it. That's probably why. And they don't even see that that's an issue, or maybe they're not seeing that it's an issue, right? Expectation. So if someone's expecting something, imprisonment. So these women could have been expecting you to be imprisoned somehow, whether it's like in a mental institution, jail, behind bars, house arrest, spiritually locked up, mentally locked up, financially stuck, emotionally stuck. This is what they've been expecting. Thinking, well, let's just not tell them. Let's just not tell the collective, blah, 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 blah. And if we don't tell them that they have to go to court, or that they have to do this, or they have to do that, this is what's going to happen. But the universe is like, no, come on, stop with the games. All right, collective's going to go. Collective's going to show up, show their face. And that's it. This is this stupid game, this weird, annoying, dumb thing is over. That's it. I don't know. This is like there's women in your family that's holding on to something that's so dumb. That's why you get nothing. They're holding on to things, and they're holding on to the wrong things, and paying attention to the wrong things, and putting their energy into the wrong things, and then they wonder why they get nothing. They wonder why they're not tapped in. They wonder why they're not getting messages, and they have no intuition, and their health is weird, and they're not glowing, and they have no success and abundance and manifestations and blah blah blah. It's because they spent their whole lives or all their energy trying to get you imprisoned in one way or another, and that's exactly why they're stuck. That's exactly why they're going to spend the rest of this lifetime basically feeling like they're in the shitter all day. I don't know why. I don't know why I got that, but there's nothing impressive. It's like they guaranteed that they will always be background characters. But God told them, like, you had your chance. You had your chance to be relevant, to be something great, to follow your calling, your purpose, but you didn't. And the time is gone. The time came. You didn't take it. It passed. So sit down. Like, please, take a couple seats, because you're going to be sitting down for quite some time. You're going to have to wait until you're called again. If you get called again. Because you know what, too? I feel like they might be like, oh, well, we'll just wait until it's our turn. And by that time, the job's already done. You already did the job. You already broke that curse. You already cleared the bloodline. But for you and you're done. There's no need for anybody to be called anymore, because you did it. You did it. Right? That could be why you're being, like, spiritually knighted. You did something amazing in your bloodline. You did it. So there's no need. You answered the call. So that's why you're so spiritually ranked. And it's like crazy, because these women, they feel like, or it could be men too in your family, they feel like they have the power and the rank to break through something. I'm sorry, your ancestors. I'm like, no, you're a background character. Just sit down. No, that's not your job. You must not know your place. If you feel like you can do all of this, you must not know your place. Let us remind you, right? Your ancestors and your whole spirit team and God even is saying, let me remind you where your place is, right? Meanwhile, they're over here expecting for you to be imprisoned, right? Because you're not getting this message. But there could be like a judge or some official that's saying, okay, well, before we go any further, blah, 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 I'm going to need to speak, or I'm going to need to see, or the collective in person, right? Time to break free. You could have, like, broken free from this familial dynamic. And I feel like it's like your whole spirit team, they're like, listen, let's just, first of all, this cycle is done. All right, so it's time to wrap things up, so that way the collective, you can just be on your merry way. Because I feel like there's these women in your family that's trying to keep you bound to something, to them, something. And your whole spirit team is like, no, like, let them leave. Hi. I don't think your headphones are connected. Come here, bring it. I'll connect it. The tablet. Let me see. And the headphones. Let me see. Yeah, pause it. Let me see.
Watch. Like this. Look.
That's very cool, baby. Here, let me see. Okay.
You see the remote control?
Yeah, I have the remote control.
You see it?
Mm-mm.
Left. I.
Hold on. So, yeah, I feel like... No, it's okay. I feel like with the time to break free, I feel like it's time for this to be done and over with, because at this point, it just doesn't make sense for why this should still be a thing, why this energy is still here, why they're still trying to be relevant. It just really doesn't make sense why, like, at this point, like, for what? So, yeah, it's definitely time for this to be done and over with. I feel like someone is like looking out their window expecting to hear some sort of news, negative news about you, or like some negative letter in the mail. Protect your blessings came out, but it didn't really come out. It was just like facing the wrong way. But yeah, I feel like you're being called to protect your blessings. Secret addictions. Yeah, so this could be one of the things that was being said about you, was that you have secret addictions, but these people are secretly addicted to watching you, stalking you, gossiping about you, being all up in your business. They're like secretly addicted and trying to figure out what's the collective doing, or secretly addicted into, for some of you, what they're trying to break in could even be like your home, your social media accounts, your bank accounts. They're secretly addicted to your energy, to you. But they could also be, it's so weird because they're trying to hide their secret addiction towards you by saying that you have secret addictions. That's why you can't do X, Y, Z, and blah, 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 blah. But I feel like something is like gonna be put to a halt until you, collective, show your face, speak your mind, right? In your entirety, your fresh, refreshed, healthy self. Right? And they're really trying to do things behind the scenes to make you act the part that they want to that they want you to act. Right? They want you to act the part that they want you to act. They want you to act the part that they said that you were playing. Like they want you to play the part that they want you to play. But the whole universe is like, no, we're not. That's not happening. No. I feel like the universe is like, can we just wrap this up, because let's come on, let's go. Like let's go. It's so funny too, because if these women are like older than you, it's like you women are too old to be doing these things. Like you're that's another thing too. Like with if they're up there in age, it's like you're wasting what little energy you have for yourself into doing things that's not working out, and then you wonder why you look old and decrepit. The little energy that you have left, it's gone. You're willingly giving it up to the collective. And you're wondering. This is what I always say. Like when people like play or throw magic at me, that's like free energy for you, collective. That's free energy. Now, granted, it's going to be like negative energy, but you can always alchemize that, right? Churn that. It's like milk, right? They're giving you rotten milk. You can turn that rotten milk into like curd or something, like cheese. Isn't like cheese made from like rotten milk, or like moldy cheese, right? There's moldy cheeses out there that's like a delicacy. It's like that. Like they're giving you this negative energy, and you could just alchemize that. That's free energy for yourself, right? Here you were thinking it's just you just have all this extra energy to do whatever you want with, and you can do that because they willingly gave you their energy. negative energy, but that's free energy, right? Of course I'm gonna use that. Of course I'm gonna utilize that. Of course I'm not gonna let it go to waste. Why? That doesn't make sense. Mars is out here. Somebody wants to fight. It's because I'm jealous of you. That's a warning from Mars. It's because I'm jealous of you. Yeah. So you have a group of women in your family that's jealous of you, one person, and they want to basically, if it's not like physical fighting, they were definitely acting some kind of war on you. Like they declared war on you. And for a lot of you, almost all of you, this was like a spiritual war. They declared spiritual war on you because their jealousy. And because of their jealousy, they were doing things, saying that it was under the Most High God, saying it was under God's law, God's command. But it was actually their ego because they wanted to feel relevant. They wanted to be superior and noticed and seen. And that's the ego, right? That's ego talking. That's not God, right? So that's why they did all this, because they were jealous. A warning from Mars. If you use my energy for mindless, hostile aggression, you will quickly find that you are not the only one with strong desires. Yeah, this is... They thought they were big and bad and that their energy, they were doing something. Listen, the universe will let you get away with only so much until it's time for you to get got. I don't know how else to say that.
I found a little cat.
What? That was looking for that.
I didn't put it in my room.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. That's okay. But I'm going to need to take that back, okay?
Yeah.
Can you put it on the table, please?
Okay.
Thank you. The letter B. Could be somebody's first, last, middle, initial name of a word or a place. Broken and busted. And they're acting like a bunch of female dogs. Just barking and barking and barking and barking and barking and just being real annoying. Tricking because they got it. That could be another thing that they were saying about you, that you're tricking because that's how you make your living or how you make your money, and you have secret addictions. I don't understand. I don't understand. 555 change, something new is coming, your DNA has God's signature, God created you specifically. Yeah. So if these are women in your family, they just hate that you're special, you're different, you're relevant, you're spiritually relevant, you're spiritually ranked, you're protected, you're getting what's yours. This weird, annoying cycle is over. Like, it's just dumb. This whole thing is dumb. I'm laughing because my daughter is like the funniest. And she's so adorable, man.
I need your help.
She just came up to me saying, I need your help. What's going on?
The remote control does not work.
Baby, this is not working because you're using it on the wrong TV. This is the one for your room.
Oh, that's my room.
Yes, it's your room. And this button. That button, yeah. Go try it out. Man, kids are hilarious. Watch, she's gonna try it. It's gonna work. She's gonna go, oh, wow, I did it. It worked. Mommy, it worked. Wheel of Fortune upright. This card has been coming out a lot for you, Collective Upright. You're still getting what you're getting. What was a change also came out. So this whole situation is done. This cycle is no more. It's closed. It's time for a change. It's time for this energy to move on. Wheel of Fortune also talks about fate and destiny. And I was just talking about how like Tia Dalma she was telling Will Turner how she was like, you have a touch of destiny. Right? It's fated for you to be happy. It's in your destiny for you to be happy, for you to be fortunate, for you to be abundant. Right? Your luck is changing, and these people are doing whatever they can to make sure that that didn't happen. But it's time for you to break free from this. It's time.
I love you so much, too. What do you want?
Queen of Swords upright. Page of Pentacles reverse. So I'm getting two things from this. I feel like you know exactly where this magic is coming from. You know exactly who's doing this weird magic from with the Queen of Swords. Like, you're too smart for this. You're too clever for this. Right? That's why whatever they're trying to do is not working. And you know exactly, like, oh, I know what this is for. I know why this is happening. I know blah, 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 right? And the second thing I'm getting is that there could be a Queen of Swords that's doing this to you. This could be a karmic Libra, Gemini, Aquarius. If it's not that, it could just be about the fact that there's this weird woman or women in your family, right? There's a weird woman who's a karmic in your family that they feel some type of way about your families. They feel some type, not your families, they feel some type of way about the relationships that you have, whether they're business, friendship, romantic, whatever. They feel some type of way about your future because your future has promise, prospects, luck, fortune, abundance. And they're hoping that you don't know this. This is not communicated to you, that you're about to be getting something that's going to heavily impact your future in a very good way. So there's a woman in your family that's really trying to prevent you from getting some sort of confirmation or communication that has to do with, like, I'm also getting with that Libra energy too, that also talks about hidden enemy. This person was also really trying to hide themselves, right? So if it's not a karmic Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, it's that this person, this woman, was trying to hide themselves, and for a while it was working because they were in the family, in your neighborhood. So you, maybe for a while you didn't know where this was coming from, and it was easy for them to hide themselves or easy for them to do their magic, because like I said, if they're doing their magic during the day, people might think they're at work or they're at this or they're running errands or doing that. Meanwhile, when they're doing this during the day, you're in a whole different area sleeping because it's nighttime for you, right? So maybe that was something that you, that was unknown to you for a while, but now you're like, oh, okay. So with that too, your whole, because Aquarius energy is really about the good of humanity, right? Thinking outside of the box, right? Pouring into, right? Because Aquarius, people confuse Aquarius as like a water sign because Aquarius is the water bearer, but it's really the water bearer. She can, like, she could also sometimes is seen as like a mermaid, but she's pouring ideas, pouring out, like she's thinking outside of the box, pouring ideas out, right? For the good of the future, for the good of humanity, for being of service, right? Very unique thinkers. I love Aquarius energy. I really do. I love Aquarius people. I do. They're so interesting to talk to. I love having a conversation with the Aquarius. And they're also like really good with, like, you know, they're future thinkers, right? So whoever this woman is, she just feels some type of way about everything about you, your future, the relationships that you have, also the way that you're able to communicate for yourself, right? Because it's like if your sleep is impacted, then, you know, whatever you try to communicate with yourself, not only do you look disheveled and you look tired you can't communicate for yourself, you can't speak up for yourself, 54, you know, then it's going to help. See, I told you, right? I told you. And the universe is like, that's enough. That's enough of that. Strength in reverse, or strength upright on the bottom of the deck. Yeah, somebody's really trying to affect your strength. And if your strength is affected, right, they're hoping that, because with this Leo strength sun card, what's one thing that a Leo is known for? Their glow, right? Their glow, their aura, their magnetism, their charm, their presence, their strength. Like, they're glowing. So this person that are really trying to, I said reverse, this person, they're really trying to affect that by trying to mess with your sleep. If they mess with your sleep, they feel like everything else can just fall into place. But the universe is like, no, that's not happening. You're spiritually ranked. So this is it. That's enough. This whole thing is done. It's no more. All right, it's done.